Welcome back to the channel. Under the Bridge, episode 7, 3 and 7. It just keeps getting better and crazier. And we see a lot of things transpire in this episode. And I can't wait to get into it. So if you haven't watched episode 7 of Under the Bridge, consider this your warning. I will be speaking all things spoilers. So be sure to watch the episode before you watch this video. All right, where do we start? Cam she seems to be pushing back in this investigation and almost a bit torn. Dusty wants to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. She is so contrite over what happened with Reena Virk, and we see that in this episode. The girls and Warren, Joe, and Kelly are up to no good, as always. Warren is facing trial, and in the trial, he says he doesn't know if he dragged Reena into the gorge. So I don't even know how to really take that right now. Was he lying? Was his girlfriend lying? So he does tell Kelly to stop, but didn't physically stop her from killing Reena. So he confesses to have kicked Reena in the first attack and seeing Kelly beat her up in the second attack some more and put her in the water and drown her. So there's a lot going on, and Rebecca is still in her trauma, as I have stated several videos before. I love her. I just want to hold her and let her cry. She is feeling very much a lot of anxiety, so she's smoking weed. She's writing this book, but she's not doing it in Reena's point of view. She's doing it more in Warren's point of view, and wanting to paint him as someone who made a mistake, and that mistake doesn't define him. And so that's an interesting theme, that the worst thing someone does isn't who they are. That's a big theme that we see in this episode. And the relationship between Rebecca and Cam, I really like it in a lot of ways, and it works here. And I'm of the mind, I'm one who is a fan of representing different backgrounds and love interests, etc., as long as it works for the story. And in this case, this relationship works for the story, and I love it. And I love that these two have this. Well, I hate that they have this past with Gabe where he died, and that day was a horrible day for everyone involved, but even more so for Rebecca, because she said some really horrible things to her brother right before he died, and that will forever haunt her until she gets to the other side of that and reconciles that. But I also love Cam's point of view here too, because so Rebecca thinks that perhaps Cam believes that Gabe would still be alive if it wasn't for her. And so it's so hard, because this relationship, Cam's a cop, and so she's all about getting justice, and what Warren did wasn't a mistake. It was murder. He was definitely there at the scene and involved, and Cam thinks he should pay for that, and Rebecca thinks he should get a second chance. And Cam says it too, like in the episode. It's like, I don't want to pretend to be in your head, but this isn't your brother. Warren isn't your brother. And that's when that question comes up, where Rebecca thinks that Cam possibly believes that Gabe would still be alive. And does Cam see Rebecca as she sees Warren? That's the question that she wants and answered. Cam can't answer that. She doesn't know. And it's such a heartbreaking scene, because she so desperately wants a second chance. Rebecca wants a second chance. She doesn't want to be defined by what happened when she was 13 and that trauma with her brother. But she has lived her life through the filter of that, and that has informed every decision that she has made up until now. And so this relationship, I love it so much because it works in the story, and it works for the better, and it doesn't feel forced. I'm not about forced relationships in shows and movies. Like, if it feels forced, then I'm out. This relationship does not, and it's necessary for the story, and it aids in telling the story, and I appreciate it. So there's a lot going on, a lot of hurt people. Dusty, I love what Cam does with Dusty, and basically like tries to get her off the hook for not testifying, because if she testifies, then she'd be perjuring herself, and either way she's screwed if she tells the truth, because she wrote, she confessed, and there's a statement that she made, that Warren was the one who killed Reena. So Dusty's screwed, and unless Cam does something where she doesn't have to testify, and so she gets her off the hook there. And but Dusty, I love what Dusty says is, the truth will basically set you free. Admitting the truth will help you not go through life with nightmares about Reena. And it's the first step. She even communicates that to Warren right before he testifies. And it's such a deep episode. And I believe it's the second to last penultimate episode here. And so I love the scene between Rena's parents and Rebecca, and how they challenge Rebecca to get to know Reena, especially if she's going to write a book about Reena, right? And so far, Rebecca's been writing a book about Warren's point of view and not Reena. I want her to shake herself out of this place that she's in, where she's just refuses to take a look at who Reena was, and really who she really was. And so I don't know what the next episode's gonna bring us, but I certainly loved this one for so many reasons. We're starting to see justice. Kelly is doing Kelly things, looking out for only Kelly, and I don't know how Joe's going to react to that. We'll see what happens in the next episode. I assume it's clear that it's going to be centered around Kelly and the trial. Hopefully we'll get a good resolve between Cam and Rebecca, because I've grown to care a lot about that relationship, and these two people are hurting and confused, and really still in a lot of ways back in that trauma that happened when Gabe died. That is my wrap up recap, deep thoughts about Under the Bridge episode 7, 3 and 7. It is now streaming on Hulu. Check it out. This show is so good. It's so solid. I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful that shows like this exist, that kind of digs deep in trauma and justice and racism and classism, all the themes that we have seen so far, especially the one where it's the worst thing someone does isn't who they are. So there's a lot of identity themes in this show, and it's just been really, really well done. We'll talk to you soon. Please let me know what you think of the latest episode. It is a good one.